liquor bottles in the street to trash. We're at the intersection right now of A. Philip Randolph and Jesse in Jacksonville. Police say this was the site of a gathering after midnight that ended in violence. JSO tells us that 4 people were shot.
Lil Poppa's mom just broke her silence online about her son's memorial getting shot up, and fam, she is absolutely devastated. 4 people got hit with 12 to 15 shots at what was supposed to be a peaceful gathering to remember the 25-year-old Jacksonville rapper. But here's what nobody's talking about. This wasn't random. This was straight get back for Foolio, and the streets of Jacksonville just proved that even death don't stop the beef. Lil Poppa was one of Jacksonville's most promising artists, signed to Yo Gotti's CMG label, but his rise to fame came with a deadly price. The memorial shooting didn't just hurt innocent people, it exposed how deep this Jacksonville war really goes. To understand how a simple gathering to honor the dead turned into another crime scene, we gotta go back to where it all started. The beef that wouldn't die. Let's rewind to the early 2000s when Jacksonville was already a war zone. Back then, Poppa was just a young kid bouncing between his mom's place on the east side and his grandma's crib on the west side. His mom made him go to church to keep him out of trouble. And that's where he discovered music at 6 years old, writing Christian rhymes to perform at church. His older brother Chi-Chi taught him how to rap, and Lil Poppa just picked it up and ran with it. Not before long, Shorty was showing off his skills outside the church too. But Jacksonville don't let nobody stay innocent for long. When Poppa hopped off the porch, his lyrics started reflecting the gritty and violent environment he grew up in. Poppa suffered from a chronic blood disease that sometimes forced him to stay inside, but instead of feeling sorry for himself, he used that downtime to work on his craft. Shorty even set up a homemade studio in his grandma's closet so he could record bars without ever leaving the house. He released his first music video at 14, and over the next few years went on a run dropping singles and mixtapes, picking up a decent buzz in the city. But 2018 is when his career really leveled up with his breakout track, Purple Hearts. Purple Hearts was a raw, emotional track about a shooting that Poppa survived but left one of his closest homies dead. He told the whole world how badly the shooting affected him with lines like, "At night I wonder why them bullets ain't hit me, why the fucks they miss me, rather be gone, take me out my Foxton misery." Later in the track, Poppa talked about how the cops tried to blame him for his homie's death. "Detectives try to frame me, interrogation they blame me, wish I could take it back to the day that my mama made me." The track came out of a tragic situation, but it put Lil Poppa on the map. He had a decent following in Jacksonville already, but Purple Hearts got the attention of artists like Polo G and led to Poppa signing a deal with Rule No. 1/Interscope Records in 2019. But while Poppa was blowing up in the music industry, his life behind the scenes was full of beef, violence, and death. Poppa, his brother Chi-Chi, and other rappers from the hood formed a crew called Cut Circle. Their rivals in Jacksonville was a group called Head First. Cut Circle and Head First portrayed themselves as music collectives, but the cops believed they was both violent street gangs. In 2015, Cut Circle even reached out to Action News Jax to tell their story. In an email to the news station, they said, "First and foremost, I would like to take the opportunity to state that Cut Circle Records is not a gang. Cut Circle Records is also in the process of putting a program together to provide kids help with homework and life decisions to keep them out of prison. So is Cut Circle a gang? No, strictly a group of guys with a rap dream." A week before that email was sent, a Cut Circle affiliate named Big Desi was shot and killed. A prosecutor from the Florida State Attorney's Office said that even if Cut Circle itself wasn't a gang, they was directly tied to an Eastside Jacksonville gang called 1200. This is important because 1200 would later become the gang responsible for killing Foolio. But back in 2015, Foolio was just another up-and-coming artist trying to break into the industry, and believe it or not, Lil Poppa and Foolio was actually cool back then. Here's where it gets real. Poppa and Foolio even recorded songs together before everything went left. But something went down between them that led to a fistfight at Foot Locker in 2018, and this beef would define both their careers until death. The beef between Cut Circle and Head First was already deadly. Back in October 2014, Head First was throwing a party on the north side of Jacksonville. 2 Cut Circle affiliates named Prosper and Tay slid through and allegedly started letting off shots. The ops returned fire and turned the party into a shootout. When all the smoke cleared, Prosper, Tay, and a Head First affiliate was all dead and 2 women was injured. A little over a week after Prosper and Tay died, Cut Circle homies paid tribute to them with the track Lions, Tigers, and Bears. Headfirst responded with a diss track against the Dead Ops and a Cut Circle member named Big Desi. They said, "Face shot as he hit the floor, calling his daddy as he hit the door." Rumors say that Headfirst caught Big Desi lacking and shot him in the face. Desi survived the shooting only to be shot and killed a year later. Headfirst was rumored to be behind that hit, but no one was ever arrested for the murder. 2 days after Big Desi's death, Cut Circle allegedly got payback by killing Lenford Smith and Charles Eunice. Then in September 2017, a Headfirst affiliate named Lil Rap got ambushed in his car by 3 gunmen who shot him to death. Lil Rap was allegedly the one who killed Big Desi, and his death is rumored to be another get-back from Cut Circle. Headfirst and Cut Circle was trading bodies back and forth, and the next shooting is what inspired Lil Poppa's Purple Hearts. Poppa, his brother Chi-Chi, and his homie was all hit in a drive-by. Poppa and Chi-Chi both made it out alive, but their friend was tragically killed. But while all this gang warfare was going on, Poppa also started beefing with Foolio. According to Lil Poppa, people was comparing him and Foolio on social media, then Foolio commented that he was better. But Foolio told different versions of what really went down. In a Say Cheese TV interview in 2021, Foolio said the fight happened because Poppa had been sneak dissing him on tracks. Y'all don't hear the 1,000 sneak disses Anna say to me, antagonize me and S. You get what I'm saying? So when I see you, I'ma address it type sick. Y'all ain't probably hear a million sneak disses because y'all don't know what's going on in Jacksonville. But we heard the set, yes, das. So when we see you, what it be about? You know what I'm saying? On your ass. Now, a nut bar beating your ass. Now, that's what it is. Then a couple weeks later, he told Cam Capone News that Poppa spotted him at the mall and said he was being disrespectful. As I'm walking out the men's Foot Locker, he pointed at me. He was like, "Man, it's him, man. He too disrespectful, yada yada." Then Poppa's homie dissed Foolio's dead brother, and that's when the fight broke out. No matter how it started, some of the fight was caught on video, and you can see Foolio and his 2 homies beating up Poppa and the dude he was with. The fight wasn't too serious, and it don't seem like anyone was really hurt, but ever since then, Foolio and Poppa been dissing each other back and forth. In August 2018, Foolio dropped a remix of Youngboy Ace's track. In the song, he goes after Ace, Quando Rondo, and Lil Poppa for linking up. Then he calls out Lil Poppa and disses Ace's dead brother and homies with the lines, "Just left out south with 100 missed calls, everybody mad like why I'll beat Lil Pop up at the mall, put on my ski, call up P, I'm trying to shoot some threes." Lil Poppa responded with his own track, and it went back and forth for a while. But then Poppa turned up the disrespect by taunting Foolio's dead brother 8 Ball during IG Live sessions. And on the track No Issues, rapping, "I just said my prayers, I'm feeling great, gonna roll me up some weight, you know they want me to watch what I say, how many J's you smoked? 8? Foolio came back dissing Poppa's homie Corbin Johnson, who was kidnapped and found murdered a year later. Foolio dissed Corbin on a few different tracks, and on a list of dead ops, he raps, "Hey, Corbin got kidnapped. How the grown man go missing?" Then Lil Poppa responded on the track, missing something with the lines, "You won't make me crash unless I want to crash. Pray everybody on that list come back and haunt his ass." Foolio also allegedly pulled up to Lil Poppa's show in Jacksonville to confront him about everything, but Poppa wouldn't come out and face him. In the May 2021 interview with Cam Capone News, Foolio claimed the beef wasn't that serious and said, "To be honest, I wish the best for all of us because I know where all of us come from. We're from Jacksonville. That dude ain't the place that many people make it out of." But even after that interview, Foolio went after Lil Poppa and his homies on tracks like List of Dead Ops. In late 2021, Foolio claimed he was done dissing Dead Ops and called it childish. And since then, the beef between him and Poppa had cooled off. They'd been sending shots at each other for a few years, but it never really escalated to anything more than disses. But Foolio ain't the only dude from 6 Block that Lil Poppa had issues with. Another rapper from the same hood named K Shorty went after Poppa's dead brother Little League on the track The Ops with the bar, "Smoking on Michi and League, they speak it on Teak." And on another track, he rapped, "I ain't worried about Gucci, I'm looking for Poppa." Lil Poppa responded on the track Disgust Me with the line, "Talking about he looking for Pop, what the he gonna do to him? The innocent little girl lost her life behind your Suskagi, you ain't looking for them." That last line was a reference to the tragic death of a 17-year-old girl named Nandi Wise back in 2020. According to rumors, she dropped K Shorty off after a date, and 2 shooters popped out and started letting off shots. K Shorty was allegedly the target, but Nandy Wise got caught in the crossfire and died on the scene. June 23, 2024, everything changed when Foolio got gunned down in Tampa around 4:05 in the morning. The two gangs responsible for that killing was ATK and 1200, Lil Poppa's gang. But here's where the story gets even crazier. After Foolio's death, Poppa dropped a song called 4 a.m. in Tampa, which many took as a direct reference to the time and place where Foolio was killed. During the Foolio murder trial, Lil Poppa's name was brought up by witness Alicia Andrews when she was talking about how people in 1200 were celebrating Foolio's death. The prosecutor asked her directly about Lil Poppa and confirmed he was a rapper with gang affiliations. But then, in a twist nobody saw coming, Lil Poppa himself died in Atlanta at just 25 years old. The circumstances around his death are still murky, and the more you dig into the story, the worse it gets. Some people are wondering if he was on drugs, if somebody told him to do something, if he was begging and pleading. The story we're being fed ain't the story that's really true. His death left his family and the Jacksonville hip-hop scene devastated. Poppa had just signed to Yo Gotti's CMG label in April 2022 and then dropped tracks together called Spot and Signing. Getting signed to CMG could have been huge for Poppa's career. CMG is one of the hottest labels in the industry right now, with artists like Moneybagg Yo, 42 Dugg, and ESTG, and Gotti obviously saw Poppa's potential to be his next star. On the night of the memorial shooting, people gathered at the intersection of A. Philip Randolph Boulevard and Jesse Street in Jacksonville to remember Lil Poppa. It was supposed to be a peaceful gathering, just friends, family, and fans paying their respects to a young artist who died too soon. But according to police reports, around midnight, chaos erupted. It was a barrage of bullets. Police say 12 to 15 shots rang off. 4 people were hit, 2 women ages 34 and 39, as well as 2 men ages 37 and 43. The 34-year-old woman was found on scene and taken to a nearby hospital. The 3 other victims took themselves to a hospital. By daylight Sunday morning, there were Don Julio liquor bottles and trash scattered at the intersection where the party occurred. People in the community told news reporters that this was a gathering to remember Jacksonville rapper Lil Poppa, who died at 25 in Atlanta. Robert Phelps, who attends the nearby First Baptist Church of Oakland, told reporters, "I remember him as a little kid singing and rapping inside the church. I enjoyed him. I hate that he's gone." He also said this type of violence was out of character for the area. Of course, like I said, I haven't seen anything like this or heard anything like this happen in years. So yeah, definitely out of character. I mean, they always have gatherings every night. The ages of the victims tell a story that a lot of people ain't talking about. Poppa was only 25 years old when he died, so what is these older people doing at his memorial? These could be his OGs, his older homies, or people from his neighborhood who watched him grow up. But the fact that people in their 30s and 40s got shot suggests this wasn't just random violence. Somebody was targeting specific people. The investigation into the memorial shooting revealed some disturbing facts that the mainstream media ain't really covering. Police believe this wasn't random violence. It was calculated retaliation connected to the ongoing Jacksonville gang war that's been raging for over a decade. Bishop Harry Williams of In the Word International Church on Sparing Street started calling on partygoers and DJs to help spare attendees from the violence. He said, "Don't be afraid to tell somebody. You know, if they see something, don't be afraid. Tell them, hey man, look, I see you got a gun on your side. Put it in the car, man. You know what I mean? Let's just talk. Let's hang out. Have a good time. Make it home to our families." But that advice didn't sit well with a lot of people in the community who understand that in Jacksonville, you stay strapped or get clapped. As one commentator put it, "I'm not putting my gun nowhere but on my damn hip." First off, it's open carry in Florida anyways. That's number one. Number two, when people show up with guns, you know who stops the people with guns? The people with guns. So, hell no, man. I'm not getting caught lacking. I wish the hell I would be chilling in an open carry state at my homie's memorial and I ain't got no damn fire. You crazy out your mind, Pastor. You worry about your scripture. I'ma worry about these bullets. The timing of the memorial shooting wasn't coincidental. This happened just months after Foolio's death in Tampa, and many people believe it was direct retaliation from Foolio's crew. Remember, Foolio was from 6 Block, and his people had been at war with 1200 for years. Even though Poppa himself was dead, the beef was still very much alive. What makes this situation even more tragic is that Poppa's family was dealing with not just the loss of their son and brother, but now the trauma of his memorial being turned into a crime scene. His mother's reaction online showed just how devastated the family was. First losing Poppa in Atlanta under mysterious circumstances, then having to watch his memory be disrespected with violence. The Jacksonville Sheriff's Office is still investigating the memorial shooting, asking anyone with information to contact them. But in a city where snitching can get you killed, don't expect too many witnesses to step up and cooperate with police. Meanwhile, the streets kept their own score. Foolio's crew felt they had to respond to Poppa's 4 a.m. in Tampa track and his gang's involvement in their boy's murder. The memorial provided the perfect opportunity to send a message that even in death, the beef continues. What's really messed up is that innocent people got caught in the crossfire. These 4 victims, 2 women and 2 men, was just trying to pay their respects to a young artist who had potential to make it out of the streets. Instead, they became casualties in a war that's been going on for over a decade. The investigation also revealed how deep the connections go between different Jacksonville gangs and rap crews. Cut Circle, 1200, 6 Block, Head First, ATK, all these groups are interconnected through years of violence, retaliation, and death. When one person gets killed, it sets off a chain reaction that can last for years. Police reports show that this type of violence has become normalized in Jacksonville. The murder rate is over 2 times the national average, and young black men are dying at alarming rates. But instead of addressing the root causes, poverty, lack of opportunities, systemic racism, the city just keeps arresting people and building more prisons. This memorial shooting changed everything about how people in Jacksonville think about honoring their dead. What was supposed to be a peaceful gathering to remember a talented young artist turned into another example of how toxic this beef culture really is. Lil Poppa's legacy as an artist who was trying to make it out of the streets got overshadowed by the violence that followed him even in death. He had the talent and momentum to really blow up and make it out as an artist. But staying around Jacksonville was only going to cause more issues in the future. Like Boozy says, most rappers die in their own city, and Poppa's name was busy, so maybe he should have taken that advice and got out of Jacksonville as soon as he could. But the streets don't let you go that easy, especially when you're affiliated with gangs that are actively at war. The Jacksonville hip-hop scene learned a harsh lesson, that signing to major labels and getting recognition from established artists don't necessarily protect you from the environment you came from. Poppa had everything going for him, a CMG deal, respect from Yo Gotti, and the skills to compete with any rapper in the game. His breakout track Purple Hearts showed his potential to connect with audiences beyond Jacksonville. The raw emotion he displayed, talking about surviving shootings and losing friends, could have resonated with fans across the country who deal with similar trauma. But the streets don't care about talent or potential. The memorial shooting proved that even death don't end beef in Jacksonville. When 4 innocent people get shot at a gathering to remember a 25-year-old rapper, it shows how toxic this environment really is. Today, the aftermath of this whole situation tells the complete story. Foolio is dead, killed in Tampa by the same gang Poppa was affiliated with. Poppa is dead under mysterious circumstances in Atlanta. Youngboy Ace is still making music but staying out of Jacksonville as much as possible to avoid the drama. The cycle of violence continues with younger artists picking up where the older ones left off. K Shorty is still making music and dissing dead ops. The members of 1200 and 6 Block are still at war. Cut Circle and Head First affiliates are still trading shots on social media and in the streets. Nothing has changed except more young black men are dead. Lil Poppa's mom's reaction online captured what so many families in Jacksonville go through, losing their children to violence, then having to watch that violence follow them even in death. Her devastation was real, and it represented every mother in the city who's lost a son to these streets. The broader hip-hop community needs to pay attention to what's happening in Jacksonville. This isn't just local beef anymore. It's affecting artists signed to major labels. It's reaching into other cities like Atlanta and Tampa, and it's claiming lives at an alarming rate. Record labels need to do more to protect their artists from the environments they come from. Just signing somebody and giving them money ain't enough if you're not providing security, relocation assistance, and mental health support to help them transition out of street life. The lesson here is that talent alone ain't enough to escape the streets. Lil Poppa had everything: a major label deal, respect from established artists like Yo Gotti, and the skills to make it big in the music industry. But the environment he came from wouldn't let him go. His story becomes another cautionary tale about how the streets will claim you no matter how far you think you've made it. The memorial shooting was the final chapter in a beef that started over social media comments and escalated into multiple deaths across different cities. It showed that in Jacksonville, there's no such thing as letting the dead rest in peace. The cycle continues, and more young artists will probably lose their lives before this war is over. That's some real type shit, and it's why Jacksonville stays one of the most dangerous cities for rappers in America. The city needs to invest in programs that provide alternatives to street life for young people. Instead of just policing and arresting, they need to create opportunities for education, job training, and mental health support. But until that happens, we're going to keep seeing stories like Lil Poppas, talented young artists who had the potential to make it out, but got caught up in beef that followed them to the grave. No cap, this cycle ain't going to stop until the community decides they've had enough of burying their children.